Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cindy Constable, and here I talk about all things business, life, and love, because I want you to be able to thrive and live your life on your own terms. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I drop new content every week. So I wanted to talk about the two common myths that people get wrong when they are dealing with the media or thinking about getting media for their business. So, as a small business owner, you want to get media attention for your biz. That's always going to be a great thing for you to be able to do because you think you want to get your name out there and, you're going to go viral, and all of a sudden you're going to have all of these people just, coming to you and wanting to do business with you. Which, in a perfect world, that would be the case. But the first thing that people do is they really think that they have to be dealing with the big boys of media, right? The entrepreneurs, the Forbes, Inc. magazine, all the big places. Now, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with those publications. I write for a couple of those publications and they are fantastic for your business. But what happens is, as a small business owner, sometimes you get stuck in what I call chasing logos. And you can get brand recognition for your brand without chasing logos. And so I want you to start thinking about, where and how are you going to use media? Are you going to just use media to have the logo on your website, or do you actually want that media to be able to provide a benefit to you and your business? And for me, having those benefits to you and your business is really what you're looking for. Now, it's exciting to get in those big brands and get those logos on your website. And, that's kind of like chasing the Joneses, if you will, right? Like everyone's like looking at you like, oh, it's so prestigious. But realistically, are the people that you are looking to do business with in those publications? And for me, that's what you want to think about when you are looking to do business, to use media to grow your business. You want to show up where your ideal customer is. So based on your target market, is Forbes the publication that they're going to for information when they need some expert content? Is that where they're going? Or would there be a place on the interwebs that would be better suited? A great example of not chasing large media would be for actual brick and mortar businesses. A better use of media for a brick and mortar business would be a local publication, your chamber's publication, or a local periodical in your area that is published. Like, for example, I used to live in the Ocala area, and Ocala had a magazine called Ocala Magazine. So as a local brick and mortar business, having a story in that magazine would have gained you a lot more traction as a local business owner than would, say, a spread in Forbes. Now, Forbes would be nice, and it's like a feather in your cap, but that local magazine would be able to actually drive customers and foot traffic to your physical location. So you want to think about that. Even in the internet space, if you're running an online business, the big pubs are great because, I want you to get out into the wide blue ocean, but I don't want you to overlook specialty to what it is you do, because that is where your customer is going to go to look for information. So we have a client, for example, that was writing about crypto, and he was turned down by a major publication, but he started to write for specific crypto magazines, which happen to be paid publications, and they are now paying him for his contributions to that publication. And it is in a publication that is with his ideal target client in mind. So thinking about that, when you are going after publications, to don't just be, stuck on the brand names and thinking, oh, I need to get into the big brand names, do not overlook local publications or your industry mags for the industry that you're in, because those outlets can get you what you want. So the bottom line here is for myth number one, that you need to be in the big boys or chase logos, is don't underestimate the power of smaller media to your profitability. Because after all, the purpose of your media is to increase profitability. So the second myth that I want to talk about is pay to play. And we're talking places like the Coaches Council here, or the Forbes Coaches Council. Places where if your credit card swipes, you get to write for them. Brains Magazine, Authenticity. There's a bunch of pay to play type situations. Rolling Stone. So depending on how you're utilizing media in your business, I don't always advocate for the pay to play proposition. In fact, I think that, earned media is better. One, because as a contributor, if you are a contributor to publications, you sign an agreement that says that you're not going to take money to write about people. So the first thing is that it is against the terms and services of those contributor publications that you write for to accept money to write about people. Two, from the standpoint of journalists, so professional journalists should not be paying a news source who has a vested interest in the story. They should not be accepting gifts, favors, compensation, or anything for those who are looking for coverage. And so that is important to remember. So if you are engaging in a pay-to-play situation, for me, there's, the ethical lines kind of tend to get blurred there. And realistically, hiring a publicist is not really feasible for most business owners. And, there are legitimate PR relations firms out there that you can engage with. But understanding that, pay to play isn't really the best way to get media. So the best way to get media is to earn it. So what is earned media? Earned media is being featured in a story in your local newspaper, getting on the local news, where you live, or actually pitching a story with a good hook to an editor at a publication and having them run your story. It's all about the hook. So I want you to think about, these two things, when you're thinking about, getting media. One, you don't have to chase the big logos. There are plenty of small to medium outlets that you can utilize to grow your business and to gain profitability. And two, earn your media. Don't pay to play. And yes, Kamanzi says it's an actual FTC violation, and it is, especially if you're a journalist, but for contributors as well. So if you're pitching contributors or offering to pay for articles, or if you've paid someone, that was against the terms and services of that publication. So understanding that you can earn media by sending in a good old-fashioned pitch. That staff writer or that journalist wants to write about interesting things. So give a good hook, have the story idea be something that is important to the readership or the viewership of that outlet, and give them a good hook and they will run your story. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Quick debunking of those two main myths about the media, that you don't have to chase logos, the big boys are not the only place to get published, and you do not have to pay to get great earned media. You can pitch and get in and have great media coverage without having to pay. So that's all I've got for you guys today. So go forth and, get published and paid. And if you do not know how to pitch the media, or how to grow your business using large publications, please feel free to reach out. We do have our membership program called Published and Paid that we'd be happy to talk to you guys about. Or if you need some higher level coaching, we can provide some one-on-one coaching so that you can learn how to use media to grow your business as well. All right, good night.